What's going on, guys? This is a fix for the infotainment screen on a 2016 Mazda CX-9. This is something that just started occurring where I guess because of the weather, you start getting these spider webs or ghosting. I actually thought somebody managed to get in my car and try to pry this off and their thumbprint cracked it, but then these two started showing up. So it's super annoying. I guess when the screen's on, you can't really see some of the data, especially when the sun's hitting a certain way. And it's just really annoying to have. So if you have this, I'm going to show you how to take off this screen and replace this with a relatively cheap, about mine cost $30 for a replacement screen here. Whereas when I took it to the dealership, they quoted me for $2,000. I think they really were just planning on swapping out this entire unit, but I don't have $2,000 in the budget to replace something as cosmetic as a screen. So I'm going to show you how to take this thing off, replace it with a fresh new screen there, and get you back up and running. So if you have this spider webbing or ghosting or whatever the heck you want to call it, it should be a relatively quick fix. So let's get to it. And so for the tools you're going to need for this install is obviously the screen, a new screen here, and then a ratchet or anything that has a 10 millimeter socket. In this particular case, I have this ratchet runs with a extended shaft here, and then the 10 millimeter socket. And then over here, something with pry bars. So in this particular case, I have an iFixit case. These are amazing, by the way. I will shoot a link in the description. So if you don't have one of these, I highly recommend you pick one up because it has all the necessary things like these little pry bars and also this metal one, which I will be using to get up the screen. It works great. And then, of course, all the necessary attachments that you're going to need to disassemble the unit. So the first step is to unmount this portion right here. And to do that, there's a panel that's in the back of the screen. So to get this panel off, you have to use something to pry it up. I'm using this iFixit pry bar here. It's got this nice little point, and once you wedge it in there, it should just pop up. There we go. The two bolts back here hold in the infotainment screen, and what you need is a 10 millimeter socket or a 13th 32nd socket if you don't choose to have metric. So all you do is just get this going. Tell you what, Mazda torqued it down pretty good. So once you get the bolts out, it should pop off here. I had to put the phone down because it actually wasn't as easy as I thought. These bolts are pretty long, so I had to put the phone down to do it a little more. But you just keep going until these things come out. And then I'm going to go back to my handy dandy pry bar here. So there's two plugs here. There's a little notch on this black one, pop it out, and then there's a little tiny notch on this white one. Once you get your finger underneath it, it should. There you go. Now that I have all the plugs undone, this is the whole unit, and we'll take it inside so I can work on the screen. Okay, so now that we have it here on the workbench, to get the screen off, there are two Phillips head screws here. And then there are two on the back side here. then the other screw is this, it's actually a TR9 Torx. So do that. Again, this is where this iFixit case comes in handy because you have all sorts of options. There's 2 tabs here on the bottom, right here and here, and you just press in. So this is where this spear tool is really cool because you can just press in, should pop up, and then this one. And then the bottom part comes undone from the screen. There you go. And next up are 4, I believe they're TR9s. Yep. So then in order to get this off, there's tabs here and here and on the other side too, but all you need to do is these 2. Yeah, so there are little tabs. You do have to press them in, and then it comes free. It's a little bit trickier than the outside, but you just press it in and it should come undone. This back plate also will come off as well. And then now for the ribbon cable to get the entire screen off. So in order to make it the touch functionality, that's where this ribbon cable comes in. There you go. Don't even need the tool. Flip it up, and then the ribbon cable just pulls out. So to get this part off, I think the easiest method to go, because I tried pulling this up, and it does provide a little bit of the resistance, because I think there's a little bit of adhesive on the back side of the screen. So to lift this up properly, and the safest is just to put the metal back on so that you can get a secure pull. Yeah, so there is a little bit of sticky tape on the backside, but that should be fine. Okay, so kind of had to struggle with this a little bit, but to get this piece on, you really have to apply a lot of downward pressure. It actually worked with getting one side in first, clicking it in, and then pushing on the other side pretty firmly. I recommend whatever the new screen came in, like a bubble wrap or some matting. That way you're not going to put a whole lot of pressure on the front of the screen and crack your brand new screen. So a little bit of a show there, but you had to really put a lot of pressure because these clamps are pretty sturdy. All right, so the back end of this clamshell piece here is there's some notches, and then there are inlets right on top of there. So the best thing to do to get this back on is make sure those secure in or slot in. I think it is, and then you just, there you go. And I believe, yeah, so there's little clamps, tabs, and those just click into place. So you just kind of drop it in. Okay, so I have everything all put together, and now I gotta get the cables back in. So let me see if I can do this with one hand. So you get the there, and they just go back in really easy. Cool. And then you just drop it back into its slot, and you just need to make sure that's all lined up, and then should be just a little bit of pressure. Nice and good. Cool. All right, so I got the bolts going. I'm just gonna screw them in here. All right, I got both bolts back in, and now for the cover plate. All right, now that's on. Let's fire it up. Oh, wait a minute. So there you have it, guys. The screen looks absolutely incredible. No more cracking, no more spider webbing, no more distractions. It's just great. So pretty easy fix and super cheap compared to what the dealer will charge you, pretty much to, I guess, replace the whole thing and not just the screen. So if you have the same thing going on, be sure to get yourself a replacement screen. I'll have a link to the company I bought from. Really, it was just $30 with free shipping. So definitely a bargain compared to what the dealer was going to hit me with. And it was just super easy. It was actually a lot easier than I thought. And it's totally doable. So let me know if you have any questions or comments, and hit that like and subscribe button if you really enjoyed this tutorial, and go do it if you have the same problem as I had. But thanks for watching, guys. Remember, don't just fix it, make it better. Take care. Really?